Yo, ladies and gentlemen, you're most welcome for Creatives Podcast. Today, we are yet again doing something new. Sorry for the delays. I know you've been expecting to see us, to get content from us, but today we have someone special in the studio today, and we are shooting today from Coco Palm. Coco Palm has lots of services for you. They have pizza on weekends, especially on Sunday. You can order for pizza at only 35,000 and you get a bonus. That is already double. For those who love to eat cheese and those who love to eat chicken, beef on pizza, you come through and you have yourself served as you expect. We also have assorted drinks here in Coco Palm and so more services that you need. If you want birthdays and so on, you can get any service from here. So, straight to the point, we are measuring today on a topic, and that is health. And as being World Sexual Health Day, we have a health worker in our midst, and she's going to talk to us about sexual health. So she's first going to introduce herself, and then we can proceed from there. Hello, you're most welcome.
Thank you. My name is Ovaikoro Ruth, a nurse working with a company, Cheerful West Nile, dealing in cancer screening. Thank you.
Hmm, beautiful, short and precise. She has other titles as well, but I'm not going to mention them because for some reason she wants to keep it to herself. So today, I want to ask you something real quick. Um, Being a health worker, what does it mean to be a health worker? Because leaving the whole issue of sexual health aside, what does it mean to you to be a health worker?
Being a health worker means, to me, it
Yes.
means having that empathy for someone who will need your help.
Wow. Um, okay, so I cannot have empathy for someone if I'm not a health worker. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, it's not that way, but there is a way a health worker's empathy
Yeah, yeah.
to their patient
Mm,
will vary to you
yeah.
having an empathy to
Mm.
someone in your own field.
Oh,
There is that difference.
okay. That's wonderful. Actually, in many ways, I've encountered a lot of health workers, and in many ways, you find these people are humble. They have a way of being humble, especially when they are offering their services. When they are giving their services to people, they're most times very humble. There's also a flip side of health workers as well. Some of them have been like quite violent with some other people. Like, especially, I understand why they can be violent. You remember during delivery periods,
Mhm.
some of the nurses are really disturbed by the pregnant women a lot. I know it can be stressful. I have one friend who is a midwife. She told me a story about that. Leaving that aside, I really don't want to go back there. So, delving straight into sexual health, what do you understand by the word sexual health? What is sexual health according to you? Because people have been talking a lot about it. Is it about sex? Or it's more than that?
It's more than that. Deriving today, we are celebrating World Sexual Day.
Mm,
Okay, this is an important day that promotes sexual awareness and sexual rights.
mm,
So, during this particular day, it's very important. We are going to be going through a number of sessions where you'll get to understand most of the things that if you have had a sexual education session, things are different from what is happening on ground.
ah, beautiful. So you say that sexual health um, is basically about your sexuality,
Yeah, basically
about
sexuality.
sexuality. Okay, so there has been a misconception in Uganda. You know, the law in Uganda states that anyone can be sexually active from the age of 18 and above. That is sexual consent, if I'm right. So in some countries it's 16, like the likes of the US and stuff. That is the legal age to start delving into that. But in the Christian perspective, it is after marriage, not so. So, but you find that, the body is active. eh? Human beings are always active and they like to experiment. They like to find out the curiosity of the young ones these days. We're part of the young ones, but like the younger ones who really don't understand these things. So right now we're actually talking about that, and we want to understand. So what is like, what according to you, who should, at what time should anyone give in to their sexuality, those urges, sexual urges, and so on? At what time should they? When should they be ready for that, according to you?
According to me, I would say 20, because when someone is 18,
Mm.
there's that part of them that is still like a 16-year-old,
Ah,
and then mentally they are not ready for most of the things out there.
mm, mm,
You know, when it comes to sexuality, it takes
mm.
a lot when it comes to the mental health.
Yeah.
So someone who is 20, mentally a bit, I
Mm.
think, has gone far with things.
Okay.
Most of the times, that person must be someone who has completed their A level, someone
Mm.
who is in a course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 20 will be of a good age, because 18, due
Mm.
to some delayments here there, someone may be in all level, so young in thoughts when it comes to the upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the age 20 provides them ample time to have a lot of experience to understand life, to try to like weigh between which one is right and which one is wrong. So in that period, at least they do get to understand that, okay, this is the time I should start some such a thing. Right.
Yes, and then I would love to add something.
Mm,
And I think by the time someone is 20 years,
mm,
when it comes to understanding and confidence,
yeah.
they're there.
Okay.
They are able to do it. But someone who is 18, they have this fear in them where they cannot go openly and ask a medical worker
Mm,
about sexual education. They fear they'll be like, I'll be judged, I'll be what.
mm,
But someone who is 20, you find most of the times they say they are stubborn,
mm,
but then it's not stubbornness, it comes with a lot of confidence,
yeah.
going out there and opening up to someone and
Mm,
asking them about sexual education is
yeah.
something that is really key.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it takes courage and confidence to be there.
Yeah. True. That reminds me. Where I remember when we were young, every time anything is mentioned about sexual education, we would literally run out of the room. And another thing is, we had this thing where if we were watching movies, you remember those periods? If you're watching movies and there is that sexual scene, uh, let's say a part where they're about to kiss, we normally start looking at each other and then we'd be like, then parents will say,
Close your eyes.
close your eyes. So eventually you find yourself not understanding anything about that. And the bridge between lack of knowledge about sexual health and the knowledge about sexual health should have started from that time. So our parents actually play a great role. Talking about parents playing a great role. Now, let's say you're a parent right now, because I know you have helped a lot of youngins to advise them on how to behave. You have young siblings who you have advised, even young people like me. I'm very young, by the way. You can still advise me. Being in the shoe of a parent, what do you think parents should do so that children really get to know about their sexual health?
Okay, parents, most of the times,
Hmm.
parents are not open about sexual education to the young children.
Hmm.
That is one of the hardest topic to discuss.
Okay.
It's very hard. There are moments you have that fear that now that I'm going to tell them, I'm going to open up to them.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, when things don't work out well, the blame will come on me as a
Hmm.
parent.
Hmm.
So there is that fear. But most of the times, it's not like that.
Okay.
Like me personally, from a family where my mom is a nurse,
Hmm.
she kept giving us sexual education as we grew up.
Hmm.
So, like, I was aware about things.
Okay.
I didn't have stigma, like, when you're talking about sex, I didn't have that fear
Okay.
that will drive me away. I will always be open to such conversations.
Mm.
Right now, you cannot have a group of teenagers
Mm.
who have not had sexual education from their parents
Yeah.
be so open about it. They will
Okay.
always have the fear. They will not be open to the world to discuss about sexual education.
Mm.
They will not. They'll be like, no, they will judge me, no this, no this. You see, they have that fear. So parents out there, you should work on providing sexual education for your young girls
Mm.
and not leaving out the boys. They also need it as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like you said, your parents used to advise you, give you sexual education and so on. What steps exactly? What did they tell you? And maybe it can help someone out there. What did they say that actually got you enlightened about your sexual health? Because I'm sure my father as well, my father and mom, talked to me about uh, when to indulge in sexual activity and when not to indulge. And I was brought up in a Christian family. A lot of abstinence was explained when we were young. And sometimes when they talk about these things, we don't really understand. So they talked a lot about condom use, a lot about abstinence. And now for someone who has heard about condom use and then also hears about abstinence, those are two conflicting loyalties. It's like use condom, but then abstain. Okay. So try to help me understand. For someone who is hearing those two terms, how can they um, swim the waters very well so that they are not stuck in the middle of the water? At least help them reach the shore. How can they understand these two terms? Sexual health matters about condom use and then abstinence. How can someone like navigate through that?
Someone out there who is young and is in the middle of this loyalty
Mm,
of abstinence and condom use.
mm,
Me, literally, I will choose for you abstinence because
okay.
it really costs nothing to abstain. I've had stories of how condoms sometimes get patches
Mm,
and things happen.
ah,
So condom use will actually be very good
mm,
for someone who thinks they have reached that stage of the body reacting and they
mm,
cannot
mm.
they cannot stay
Hold.
without it.
Mm, mm.
They cannot hold on. Condom use will actually be good, but then on the other hand, abstinence will be the best.
Yeah,
Because,
Kavaranita itende. Yeah.
because I'm sure ladies out there
Mm,
and gentlemen out there who
mm,
have been there, when you abstain, you have no pressure.
mm,
When you're
mm,
coming to that time of the month, even
mm,
if you've had it with condom,
mm.
trust me, that pressure will be there
You know, the body can be hot. How do you abstain? Okay, leaving that behind. Moving on. Uh, I believe maybe if I might give an option, up to support abstinence, there is. I've noticed something. Most people who fail to abstain normally have lots of idleness in them. I don't know if you notice. Most people don't, who cannot practice abstinence, they are very idle. They like to, you know, I beg your pardon. So there is this thing where they call it what? An idle mind is the devil's workshop. And it doesn't mean that sexual urges are evil, but they only become evil if it's in the wrong time, right? So there are people who don't really be busy. I would advise anyone out there to get busy, try to, like, follow up on your dreams. If you have any dreams at all, follow up on those dreams or develop a hobby. When you're free, try to make yourself busy, and that will actually help you in different ways to try to actually withhold abstinence. You have actually explained it very well. You have done a very good thing. So, for any youth out there, I think they can differentiate between condom use and abstinence. But some people will still be in total confusion. But we are not here to talk about those people who are in confusion. We're trying to bring them out of the
Confusion.
confusion. Yes. So, moving on. Why should I really care about my sexual health in any way? Why should anyone think about their sexual health? Because there are some people out there living like animals. They don't really care about things that they are doing and stuff. Maybe to give perspective to them. Why should they care about it?
When you care about your sexual health, your mental health is very stable.
Okay.
Then, caring about your sexual health, you prevent the risks and chances of having STIs. And when we talk about STIs, we are talking about the HIV virus. We are talking about syphilis, those sexually transmitted infections. We're
Mm.
talking about them. So when we take good care of our sexual health, we prevent that risk. We prevent that risk of being there.
Mm.
And you know, some of these medications are not easy for those
Mm.
STIs. For example, benzathine. People out there who know benzathine, you get it.
Mm.
Then it also helps us prevent unintended pregnancies. Now,
Mm.
for someone who uses a condom and to conceive, and someone who has abstained, which one is which? This is where now you choose the latter.
Mm.
Meaning abstinence will still work.
Mm.
So when we care about our health, we prevent those unintended pregnancies. Then when we care about our sexuality, that sexual life,
Mm.
we provide a room of a very great relationship, which comes in with good communication between the couples,
Mm.
which comes in with that free expression. You're
Mm.
so free to express yourself to your partner
Yeah.
about the sexual life you will want or about how your sexual life has been. But then if you have not engaged yourself with the sexual health, you will have that stigma. Do it.
Uh, Coming to Arua's sexual network, here in Arua we have lots of youth who have been misled so much. Yes, just yesterday I was riding by Arua town. What do you call it? That hospital road
Yeah.
going down. I saw a bunch of like ladies. They are quite young. They are quite young. If you just look at one, you can tell that this is a young person. And I don't want to judge, but from what I saw, it's like there was a transaction going on. Men coming in to buy merchandise, men leaving. By merchandise, I mean prostitution. There's been lots of that going on. And in one way or another, I feel like the situations that are going on in the families and sometimes the life that someone is living causes them actually to go to those streets. Now, I want to ask you, for people who are going through such kind of situations, how can they get out of that situation of putting their sexual health at risk? Say prostitution, they are putting their sexual health at risk. How can they come off to such a situation apart from just, you know, how can they come out of that? Let's just say.
Now those ones, they are not informed. They lack information.
Mm.
I'm sure by the time they went there, they didn't have the information. That's why they went there. They didn't weigh
Okay.
the pros and cons.
Mm. To be honest, some of those people are actually more informed about sexual health than some of us. We might be talking here, but some of those people out there, they're actually very informed. If you ask one of them, how are you coping? They will tell you about condom use, they will tell you about, how they get themselves checked all the time, how they so like you find that that is already a risk. They are putting themselves at risk. Even if they already know, how can they actually get themselves out of that. I know some of them don't know. Some of them don't really know. It's just peer pressure. They are following because they need to survive, and some of them are following their friends, and then you find some of their parents did not teach them well. So how can they like pull themselves out of that situation?
Me, I'm very sure before
Mm,
someone goes into prostitution,
mm,
they really don't have that much information about sexual health. That information always gets them when they're already there.
okay.
Like when someone has already been intimate for several times, then you see that physical well-being
Mm,
starts getting affected, whereby the only things you think of, like someone
mm,
who does that and
mm.
a normal lady who stays home, when she has a fever, she will think of someone who stays home will think of malaria.
Yes.
But someone who is there on the streets,
Mm.
do you think they will think of malaria?
No.
No,
No.
they will not think. So that is a difference. But then for those ones to come out there, we need health education to be carried out. Then we also need counseling sessions
Mm.
for that group of people,
Yeah.
which will really help them come out of there.
Mm. Okay. So, as a health educator and a health personnel, help me educate them on how they can best protect themselves and how they can access some of the services you actually provide. Because there has been a recent cancer screening which has been happening. That's still also part of sexual health, not so? If I'm right. So, how can they access some of these services in case they want to really find out more about sexual health? How can they access you? How can they access other health facilities in order to learn more about sexual health?
It takes courage and confidence. My
Yeah.
dear sisters out there, I know it takes a lot of courage to go to these facilities
Hmm.
to actually talk about this, but
Hmm.
go to those facilities, those health centers, those hospitals. Those health workers, they are open minded to such topics.
Hmm.
Actually, we always have clinics
Hmm.
for such cases. Then we also have, I think our hospital has a day, I'm not sure of, which
Okay.
gives sex education to teenagers.
Hmm.
Then Kuluva also has it's I think there's a Thursday where they also give health education about
Hmm.
sexual life to teenagers. So they should reach out to those health facilities
Hmm.
and be open minded and they will get the help.
Can I talk to you to teach me about my sexual health?
Yes, you can.
Okay. After this session, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to learn about my sexual health, and most definitely, I will question her a lot of intimate questions, and I'm sure she's going to give me the answers. Meanwhile, this is out of the whole topic. It's not to do so much with sexual health. This episode here has been sponsored by Coco Pound and at the same time, Ken Clarity Photography. We are here to serve you, and Coco Palm is here to serve all your events needs and all your accommodation needs. That is in regard with events and so on. Anyway, that is basically all we have for you for today. If you need more of this talk, we can bring it back. She is actually a creative. I know some people will be asking, oh, it's Creative's podcast. Why are you bringing a female who is not a creative? Let me tell you, health personnel are creatives. They have a lot up their sleeve that they need to let us know. So, thank you very much, Ruth, for coming through. You have been a vibe. You have helped us in many ways to highlight some of these things. As World Sexual Health Day, I know this is probably going to be aired the next day. Please be kind with us and don't comment poorly. Just if you have an idea, please comment positively. We shall, of course, have to ask Ruth if we cannot answer any question. We shall ask Ruth. She will help us answer some of these questions. And God bless you. Do you have any last words that you want to tell people before we?
So people out there, knowing your sexual rights is very important because it can lead you to an informed information
Mm.
and a greater deal when it comes to decision making.
Mm.
When to have sex, when to get married, when to have children,
Mm.
it will help you so well. So go attend those sexual education sessions to catch up.
Thank you, and God bless you.